I wish LeBron James will retire. Not because I don't want to see more of LeBron James, not because I don't appreciate LeBron James, but I honestly believe deep down inside, the more LeBron James continue to play the game of basketball, the more it's going to hurt his legacy and the more it's going to continue to hurt his GOAT argument.
Whoa, was Kendrick Perkins telling LeBron James to retire from the NBA on First Take yesterday? Yes, it definitely was. Kendrick Perkins, LeBron James. Oh, we may have just witnessed history in terms of Kendrick Perkins actually criticizing LeBron James on national television. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Kendrick Perkins begging for LeBron James to retire from the NBA. As you guys all know, Kendrick Perkins is one of the biggest LeBron James fanboys out there in the mainstream media. Not only that, but Kendrick Perkins is also known to be one of the dumbest NBA analysts ever in the history of sports media. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. Do you agree with Kendrick Perkins telling LeBron James to retire from the NBA? Absolutely, I agree 1000% with what Kendrick Perkins had to say about LeBron James on First Take yesterday. And for the first time in forever, Kendrick Perkins actually made a good point when talking about basketball. We all know Kendrick Perkins to be one of the worst NBA analysts out there in the mainstream sports media world. He is one of the main reasons why people want to turn off ESPN and not listen to mainstream sports media talk about basketball. We all know that his basketball takes in general are horrible. And no, it's not only for LeBron James in general, but yes, a lot of it is centered around LeBron James. We all know Kendrick Perkins is a sexual. He is the definition of a LeBron James fanboy. This is the same guy that got into a fight with Shannon Sharpe on First Take in terms of who was the bigger LeBron James fanboy. As you guys all know, Shannon Sharpe is one of the biggest LeBron James fanboys out there in the mainstream media. In fact, he loves LeBron James so much to the point where you have to question his sexuality. You have to question whether Shannon Sharpe is gay or not when it comes to the topic of LeBron James, because this guy worships LeBron James like God. He worships LeBron James like that is his boyfriend out there, and he hangs out with LeBron James all the time. And obviously, a lot of these guys are paid off sports talkers, and they're getting paid by Klutch Sports to rave about LeBron James and push the agenda of LeBron James being the GOAT, which obviously isn't true. We all know that the real GOAT in the game of basketball is Michael Jordan. In fact, I wouldn't even say LeBron James is a top 2 player of all time. Yes, I'm saying that with a straight face. LeBron James is not a top 2 player of all time in the history of the NBA. And there is a stronger argument to be made that LeBron James is not even a top 5 basketball player of all time compared to LeBron James being the GOAT in basketball. But that's neither here nor there, because I do have LeBron ranked in the top 5. He is a great basketball player. The stats are there, and he has made a lot of good accomplishments in the NBA. However, do I think the legacy of LeBron James is going to be remembered in a positive way? I have serious doubts about that. I think LeBron James is going to be remembered in a negative light 10 years from now. Why do I say that? Because of the constant team hopping all the time, because of the constant blame game all the time. It's because of the fact that he changes coaches all the time. It's because of the fact that he's a coach killer. What I'm trying to say about LeBron James is that yes, he's a great physical talent. Yes, he puts up great individual statistics, and yes, he has 4 world championships. But what I am saying about LeBron James in general is that he is a coach killer, and that he often changes teammates all the time. We all know that the guy has very passive aggressive type of personalities in general, and that he is the definition of a guy that constantly wants to change teams all the time. You look at how he left Cleveland high and dry the first time. Okay, I could kind of understand that, because Cleveland the first time didn't give LeBron James a good supporting cast. I know a lot of LeBron James critics are going to say, oh, why are you giving LeBron James a pass for leaving Cleveland the first time? But I'm going to say to that, hey, if you didn't want LeBron James to leave Cleveland the first time, you should have built a better team around him. But that's the only time I'm going to give LeBron James a pass, because LeBron James then left the Miami Heat high and dry after losing in the 2014 finals, not to mention with the fact that he also choked in the 2011 NBA finals as well. You look at the fact how LeBron James got owned by JJ Barea in that series, and how Jason Terry outplayed LeBron James in the finals. I mean, there really is no good excuse for LeBron James getting outplayed in the 2011 finals. No reason in the world for LeBron James to lose to the 2011 Mavericks after declaring that the Miami Heat were a super team and that they would win 8 championships. Obviously, now LeBron James is coming out there to the mainstream media and lying through his teeth. Now you got people saying, oh, that team wasn't a super team, and that in order for a super team to happen, you have to have multiple great players with multiple great role players. In other words, what they're saying is a super team is only meaning when the roster is absolutely perfect from top to bottom. And obviously, LeBron James is rewriting history because he's trying to get people to forget that he built super teams in the NBA. In fact, if LeBron James didn't form a super team on the Miami Heat, I very much doubt that the term super team would be even used in today's NBA when describing teams that have 3 players that have made multiple all-star appearances in their prime team up with one another. Obviously, a big 3 doesn't happen without LeBron James in the NBA, and I don't think LeBron James is going to be remembered in a positive light for that. You also look at how he left Cleveland the second time and how he basically ran Kyrie Irving out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving was a phenomenal player for the Cavs, and he ended up requesting a trade because LeBron didn't want to hand over the reins to Kyrie Irving. And then he joins the Los Angeles Lakers. He ends up getting coaches fired basically every year, and now he's going to be on his 10th coach in 22 years in the NBA. I mean, come on, man. At some point, the finger pointing has to come back to you. You can blame all the coaches you want. You can blame all the teammates you want. You can team hop from team to team all the time. But at some point, the common denominator is you. You are the problem. And to Kendrick Perkins' point, he actually realized that for his own good. Am I surprised Kendrick Perkins realized that LeBron James is an absolute fraud? Yes, I am surprised with that. And I am surprised that he is telling LeBron James to retire from the NBA. But it seems like Kendrick Perkins has gotten his sense together for the first time in forever. But who knows? Maybe this is a dead clock right twice a day moment where, yes, he makes a good take about basketball related topics, but it's not actually going to be sustainable. And this was also not the first time that Kendrick Perkins trashed LeBron James in terms of the Darvin Ham situation. He trashed him last Friday on the NBA Today. Roll the film.
This is a hard situation, especially when you're dealing with a guy by the name of LeBron James, who actually think he knows more than anybody else in the sport. So you have to make sure you have the right hire and bring in a guy that he wants, If you bring in a guy that he wants, then your organization is going to go smooth. Everything is just going to go fine. You're going to get the best version of LeBron James, and then it's going to ripple down to Anthony Davis. But I'm so over this. I mean, damn. Real talk, league wide.
Wow, I did not expect Kendrick Perkins to go off on LeBron James like that, but to his credit, he actually did. And I don't think Klutch Sports is very happy right now with Kendrick Perkins because he's supposed to be one of the biggest LeBron James fanboys out there in the mainstream media. In fact, I would not be surprised if Rich Paul and his cronies are trying to talk to Kendrick Perkins right now and trying to give him some extra money under the table to rave about LeBron James and push the agenda that LeBron James is the GOAT, because obviously Kendrick Perkins went off script and gave his real basketball takes. You know, sometimes when I heard Kendrick Perkins talk about LeBron James in the past, I used to wonder, why does he rave about LeBron James so much? Why is he such in love with him for a guy that used to play for the Boston Celtics, a team that has been known to criticize LeBron James in the past, where some of his teammates are some of the biggest critics of LeBron James, which I've always found very weird for Kendrick Perkins to rave about LeBron James. But I think now we are hearing the real Kendrick Perkins talk about LeBron James. The Kendrick Perkins that you hear on ESPN talk about LeBron James all these years, that may have been just a guy playing a character just for ESPN to try to boost up ratings, because obviously we know ESPN is in love with LeBron James. They want to use LeBron James as their cash cow because that is how they believe they get television ratings. Personally, I disagree with that. I think that the NBA should have stopped promoting LeBron James years ago. Obviously, people are not interested in watching LeBron James anymore, and I can't blame those casual fans that don't want to follow LeBron James anymore because of the fact that he is a jerk on and off the court. You look at how he constantly changes teammates, you look at how he constantly changes teams, you look at how he throws everybody under the bus, and you look at the fact that he's always crying for more help. It's always the narrative with LeBron James. Oh, he didn't have enough help. Oh, he needs more all-stars around him. Oh, he needs better role players around him. Oh, he needs a better coach around him. Oh, he needs a better GM around him. Everything around him needs to be better except LeBron James. And that's the issue I have with LeBron James. It's the constant narrative lies that are surrounding him all the time. And before every year, everybody hypes him up and says, oh, they're going to win the title this year. Yeah, Lakers got a stacked roster, or LeBron's teammates, they're going to be really good. Yeah, this is absolutely stacked. But then whenever the going gets tough, it's, oh, trade the whole roster. Oh, I need to join a new team. Oh, I need a new head coach. And obviously, a lot of people are going to take issue with that. And it gets very sickening to hear in general. To call LeBron James a diva would not do him justice. LeBron James is more than a diva. Holy cow, this guy is the most selfish superstar in the history of professional sports. And obviously, yes, he's a great player. He's a great individual talent. Yes, the stats are going to back him up. But you know what's permanent? winning championships, and LeBron James is 4-6 in the finals. And obviously, LeBron James tries to buy rings. When you look at MJ and Kobe, what did those guys do? They built championship teams. It's not even just MJ and Kobe, it's other guys as well that understood the concept of building championship teams. LeBron James, on the other hand, understands nothing about building a championship caliber team. All LeBron James understands is how to buy championships. You know why I say he tries to buy championships? Because he tries to get the most stacked players on his roster, and he is literally the definition of a guy trying to stack the deck at all times. And obviously, that's why LeBron James is not the GOAT right there. Even if LeBron James was 6-0 while buying championships, he would still not be my GOAT just because of the fact that he just team hops from team to team. I mean, what's so impressive about that? And obviously, you look at how LeBron James is not even 6-0 in the finals. Yes, he made it to 8 straight finals. Congratulations. You got the 8 straight finals in a trash Eastern Conference where he basically played nobody. The best team during that stretch was basically the Indiana Pacers that was led by Paul George, a perennial playoff choker. So obviously, LeBron James didn't really have a whole lot of competition in the Eastern Conference. And then when he did get to the NBA Finals, he lost more often than not on the biggest stage. And don't tell me that the Super Team Warriors existed because of the fact that the Super Team Warriors were not some 21-year dynasty. They were more like an 8-year dynasty, maybe even a decade kind of dynasty at most. What's the excuse for the other finals losses or the other seasons where he didn't win a championship? Obviously, there is no other excuse for that. LeBron James is obviously a great player, but he is not the GOAT, and it's going to be pretty hard for him to be the GOAT. Now, if LeBron James wins another ring, okay, maybe we can have this discussion, but I highly doubt he will win another ring as the #1 scoring option on his team. Sure, LeBron James could just go and form a super team and try to join a team filled with all-stars, but that's not really a real ring now, is that? Because that's not really real leadership. Obviously, you look at how Michael Jordan won 6 titles in 8 years. That's basically the definition of playing peak basketball. Obviously, LeBron James doesn't have that kind of peak in him, and even though his longevity is really impressive, what's more important, peak or longevity? And I believe peak is more important than longevity, and by that definition, that means LeBron James is not the GOAT because LeBron James never won 3 championships in a row. He's never even won 3 championships in a 4-year stretch, which means obviously LeBron James' peak is not quite as good as Michael Jordan's or Kobe Bryant's. It's really that simple. It takes simple math to understand that LeBron James didn't get the job done on the biggest stage. And don't give me the stats, because we all know that LeBron James padded up his stats in some of those finals losses. I actually watched the games and saw that LeBron James did not come through in the biggest moments of the finals. More often than not, who was the one that came through in the biggest moments in the 2013 finals? Ray Allen. Who was the one that came up with the biggest moments in the 2016 finals? Kyrie Irving. All right, so my point that I'm trying to make is that LeBron James did not come through in the biggest moments of the finals more often than not. That's just simply the truth. If you don't like it, well, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you're a LeBron James fanboy. And credit to Kendrick Perkins, where credit is due, for begging for LeBron James to retire from the NBA, because I really did not expect that quote to be said by Kendrick Perkins. But hopefully we get to see the real Kendrick Perkins more often on ESPN. Do I have doubts that will happen? Absolutely. But we'll see what happens moving forward. So that is why I agree with Kendrick Perkins telling LeBron James to retire from the NBA, as I was pleasantly shocked to see Kendrick Perkins actually criticizing LeBron James on national television. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin Tran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.